this video, I wanted to talk about the topic if it's advisable to relocate to the Philippines, to move out, or to Asia, Thailand, or some other country, or if you should stay in your own place. Of course, you cannot give a general advice because everyone's different situation. Of course, it's different when you have a family there, maybe a big farm or something, or you have lots of friends. You have a family there, a wife there. It's very different when you're single, when you have nothing to hold you there. It's different if you have a stable income like a pension or some other funds, or if you have a good backup, some backup money where you can live off, or if you just have no money at all or nearly no money and just come by. So my situation was when I was 25 years, I left Europe. The first few years I traveled around in Southeast Asia, Philippines, Cambodia, Laos, Thailand. Traveled around, looked around, discovered the places, not only the tourist hotspots. Actually, mostly I stayed away from the tourist hotspots. I traveled the province to explore the real life here, the real people, the real Filipino. And after a few years, I decided that it was the kind of time I was studying. I was getting a bit of money from the government. I had some backup from my time when I was working before. After that, I decided I want to stay here. I want to be permanently here in Asia, in the Philippines. And then I checked for some work, for some income that I can generate here. First, I made some trading. Later, made some remote customer support, customer service, chat support, email ticket support. And that's also kind of a thing where I think now is a better time than maybe ever before, or maybe the last 5, 6, 7 years after COVID was a big wave to work from home, to away from the office. And I think there's a kind of trend that didn't die down. So you still have a lot of company that want you to work from home or that give you the opportunity. And 10, 20 years ago, you would never have the chance to do that because the internet was not so good, the infrastructure, you don't have that kind of good internet here and all that kind of things. Or the people was not so open and familiar to work from home like at office abroad. So I think in this regard, it's now better, really better than ever before, as in the last few years, because you have lots and lots of opportunities, especially when you have any kind of special skill like some third language like Spanish, German, Japanese, Chinese, Thai, or whatever. Or if you have some other skills that's really good like IT, music, computer composing, or some other stuff that you can do online, then it's, in my opinion, not that hard that you find a good paying job. You find lots and lots of jobs in the big cities here, like Manila, like Cebu, like Bangkok. But there's also opportunities to work from home, to be completely remote, that you can stay in the province here in the Philippines, or maybe you want to travel around. I also did this for a while. You just go around, travel around. You in the hotel or an apartment that you rent, you do your work, and when you're done with your work, you maybe just work a few days, maybe you work the whole week, maybe 60, 80 hours with I did sometimes. So it's all on you. And it's, I think, now much more opportunities than before. And should you move out, relocate, is of course it's a big step, because when you relocate you leave everything behind. Of course, most of the time you can go back, maybe you have some security net where you say, okay, everything goes south, like for me, if everything goes broke, if I lose all my money here or whatever, I still have my government who bail me out more or less. I have my mother who gonna help me in some other cases, which is very unlikely that I ever need that, but it's good to know that you have some kind of a fallback opportunity, that you can say, okay, if everything goes bad, if I have really bad luck and everything is rip off or whatever, that you can still go back. But of course, it's a big challenge and big thing to do, because of course you have your friends in your own place, your food, your climate, you're used to the language, maybe if your family there, maybe you have a house there, maybe you have a job, maybe you have family or whatever, and then it's of course very hard if you want to do it. And of course, if you have a family and everything and good connections, good friends and everything, why should you do it? It's of course not advisable. In my opinion, most of the guys who permanently relocate here, they are retired, so 60 plus, 70 plus. They get a stable retirement fund. Maybe they already divorced, the kids is out of the house, and then they say, okay, I'm done with working, I have a stable income, and then they relocate here. They are here getting a fixed pension, and that's what most of the time happens. That the expats is older, and of course that's a way to do it. It's I think maybe a part in the life I really can do it, because the problem is when you're more young, when you're maybe 20, 25 or whatever, maybe you don't have any stable income most of the time, you don't have much backup, you don't have much money in your bank account, so you cannot just go out and stay in the Philippines or stay in Asia, and you don't get any regular income, so it's kind of hard. But of course, then later on, maybe 30s, 40s, when you have a family, when you have kids, you don't want to move out either. Of course, you can bring the whole family and everything, but that's another challenge, because you also need to convince your partner, and it's much more hustle, much more hard to do. So that's also not so easy. So that's why I think it's very understandable that you most of the people just relocate here when you're retired, 60, 70. But in my opinion, the problem with this is that you're already old, you're more settled down, maybe you're quiet down, and then just want to have a nice, peaceful last 20, 30 years of your life, enjoy your life, quiet, peaceful, cheap, and everything. It's great. It's what you can get here. Everything is more or less cheaper. If you get a haircut, if you rent an apartment, if you get a motorbike or whatever, it's all more cheap here, so you can live here much more comfortable than in the US or Europe or something. You get much more for your money. You can go out for eating more often. You can go for a weekend trip, and nice hotels which you can maybe not afford in Europe. For me, for example, when you go out in Europe to eat, for one person you pay for sure 20, 30 euros in a basic restaurant. And here, when you go to a basic restaurant, you spend maybe €5, but same as when you're renting a hotel room, you can get it here for 10, 20 euros. In Europe, it's nearly not doable below 20 to 100, so it's very, very different. So you can get much more for your money. But on the flip side, when you're old, when you're 60, 70, maybe you're also not that energetic anymore. Maybe you just want to enjoy your retirement and live a quiet life. In my opinion, you miss out on a lot of things, because when you're 20, 25, 30, maybe you're much more energetic, you're much more able to explore the area, travel around, meet different people, do some activities, do some sports or whatever, because your body is more young, more agile, you can do much more things. And that's one of the points where I say it's, in my opinion, much better when you move out early, when you're still young, because then you can really explore and enjoy your life, and have more time to spend. And of course, another point with this is also, of course, when you're 60, 70, you're older, you have some kind of illness, some kind of pain, I don't know, you have some chronic sickness or whatever, and then you have the problem that you don't get good healthcare here everywhere, not good hospitals. Of course, in the big cities, it's not a problem. Bangkok or whatever, Thailand is anyway better in medical perspective. But of course, you cannot so easily stay in the countryside or on some remote island or whatever, because if something happens, if you have some emergency, you need to be able to reach a good hospital, a good doctor, which is not everywhere available here. Wherein, when you're still young, 20, 25, 30, 40, it's much more unlikely that really something bad happened, that you have chronic illnesses that you need permanent treatment or something. And in that regard, it's also better when you move out early, because you can just explore the area, can see that, can travel around, and then if something is, it's much better. Of course, like I said, the challenge is when you move out really early, 20, 25, 30, you have the big problem maybe that you don't have any stable income, that you don't have any big bank account or something to sustain you. But in my opinion, that's not the real. It's not a real problem, because, as I said in the beginning, there's lots of job opportunities here for foreigners, or in the online for remote work, and so you can do it as well. It just takes a bit of courage. And so my recommendation is basically for everyone: just come here for a few weeks, 2 months, or a few months, take a look around, check the area, check the people, get into the community, figure out if that's for you, if that's not for you. The climate, of course, it's much more hot here. Like if you are really into winter sports in skiing, snowboarding, or whatever, you're not gonna be happy here. But if you like beaches and the clear water, swimming, that kind of things, then it's much better here. And in my opinion, just try it out for a few months, for a few weeks. Not stay only in the tourist places like Bohol, Angeles, or whatever, because that's not the real life. Of course, when you just make a vacation for 2, 3 weeks every year, then you want to enjoy it, you want to get the best out of it, you spend more because you just enjoy your vacation, you work the whole year for it, and you just want to enjoy yourself. but to get a real glimpse of what's life here, what's awaiting you when you come here. It's much more advisable when you, I don't know, travel a bit around in the province, or maybe you rent a house for a month in a smaller town, smaller city to get an idea how is it to live here. Of course, you also need to be careful with your partner because it's here, of course, plenty of girls and other women who try to take advantage of you, to rip you off, to lie on. That's a whole other topic. When you get some kind of job here or to get a job online, the earnings will be maybe half or even less than what you earn in Western countries, in Europe or in US. But on the flip side, you spend much less, as I said, for hotel, for condo, for food, for haircut, for taxi. Even you earn less, you can still afford much more things to do and make a much more balanced lifestyle. You can say, okay, I just work 20 hours per week or 30 hours per week and enjoy my life, the country and exploring and moving around. Even when I work 20 hours per week, I still have enough money to treat myself. In Europe, in Austria, you need to work full time, 40 hours per week to pay all your bills because it's much more expensive, the electricity, the water, the rent, the car, the insurance. You work the whole year, and then you go on vacation for a few weeks. You enjoy the vacation, but then you're back to work. It's much more better when you move here permanently. You can spend years to enjoy the life. It's not that hard to get a job here or online to get your income and just live the best life. I know it's a risky step. It's a bit frightening to do that when you're young and leave everything behind. You can go back anytime. If you say it's nothing for you, you can still go back, stay here first a few months to figure it out. It was one of the best decisions of my life because otherwise I would still be in Europe. Yes, maybe I would have a bit more money on a bank account, but my life would also be much more sad because I just work home. Since I moved here when I was 25, I traveled, meet new people, tasted new food. At the beaches, every condo apartment I lived nearly has a fitness center, swimming pool there. You can go to the hotel, to the restaurant without any doubts. In Europe, every time you go to the restaurant or something, book a trip for a few days to with a hotel or have an entrance in somewhere, it's so expensive. I have to work that long for it. Everything is more affordable. My recommendation is you should give it a shot. It doesn't mean you have to go to Philippines. You can Cambodia, Thailand is great. Malaysia, plenty of countries in Africa, South, Middle America is great. Give it a shot. Go there for a few months, live there for a few months, travel around, explore the culture, the people. That's something for me. That's what I want to do. Then you look for some kind of income that you can get, like an online job, online business investment or something. Then you can start to live here. And if you just make a normal life, a basic life, not party every day, not the best from the best, so just normal basic things, then you can live here a very good life with very low expenses. So I think it's very worth it when you try it in your 20s to move out, because after your 20s, when you're 30 plus, most of the time it's too late since you have a wife, your family, maybe you're too much engaged in your work, in your company. And when you're 60 plus, of course you can do it as well, but I think then most of your time is already up and you don't have so much chance anymore to live your life to the fullest and enjoy it and travel around, because maybe you're not that energetic anymore. Maybe your body has already some issues, some illnesses, some problems. So that's not that easy anymore. That's why my clear recommendation is in your early years, try it out, go out, take a look in the countries, travel around, and don't stuck in this situation where you have to stay in your place, you're working your whole life until retirement, and then you figure out what you do. So that's my take on it. But of course, everyone has his own perspective on it, and feel free to leave it down in the comments down below.